because I don't know how long we'll be talking about things. So I'd rather be safe than sorry.
Could
Um,
possibly go on a tangent with Daredevil, but we'll see.
we will see. But anyway, we're going to start off with talking about some trailers, some announcements, and then move on to talk about Daredevil, and then my character spotlight, and then ending. So let's get right into the trailers. Well, let's talk about the quick one. Is we got a teaser trailer for um, Peacemaker 2.
Peacemaker season 2.
Um,
Which doesn't really show much. It shows John Cena walking on screen, giving a thumbs up.
no, well, I will say
His
this: it showed reoccurring cast.
Yeah, it showed the cat. We've already seen like the cast coming in. The only difference is like I forget her name, but she was driving a car, and she said, "Oh, you're a superhero now," and that was really it. We got
She's
a
not new. She was in
confirmation.
the first one.
New scene. New scene.
Oh, oh.
We I know she was in the first season, but like that was the first time we seen that scene.
But there's been another trailer before this.
But yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
This is the
We
first one
saw
I've
it a
seen.
while ago.
That's probably why I don't remember.
um no, you've seen it. You've seen it.
No, I said yeah, I
I
haven't
know for
seen
a
it in a
fact we talked
while. Is
about it.
what I said. That's what I said.
Oh, I didn't hear it. I didn't hear a while. My apologies. But anyways, the important thing, which I've been trying to say, is that we have confirmation that it releases August 21st of this year. Yeah, no. So, all
Now, wait,
right.
how late? How much after Superman is that? A month?
Yeah, just about a month.
Okay. So
Superman is the
that's a
middle of
month.
July, so this is
Yeah. So
this
I
is
would say a
I
month.
guess
I would say a month just to be safe.
yeah.
Okay.
Um,
Um. So then we
so
had.
that's pretty cool.
So then we had the trailer for. Oh no, we had the trailer for the
Jeez.
Tales of the Underworld. So
Tales,
I'm actually
newest Star Wars project. So they releasing on Star Wars Day.
I
So
think this is going to be a tradition kind of thing of them doing another aspect of Star Wars universe. And this one,
yeah,
this is going to be very similar to the Tales of the Empire, where we're getting two characters flushed out. I'm saying it that
I
way
mean
because it's
that's
like
yeah. I mean it was the same with Tales of the Jedi. You know, it was two characters that we're
oh, that's
building
right. I keep
more
forgetting it
onto
was
the
only
universe.
two because I keep thinking Tales of the Jedi. I'm mixing it up with Visions.
Oh yeah, no, that the Visions is completely
No,
different.
I know, but I'm like mentally that's where I was, and I'm like, oh, they just changed it up, but they don't. It's literally the same thing.
Yep. So we're going to
Anyway,
be building on Asajj Ventress. So that's pretty
I'm
cool. We're
actually
going to
super
be seeing
excited
more
about
of
that
her,
because
which
she's gonna be facing a Sith.
it seems like an Inquisitor. It seems like one of
Oh, that's
the
fair.
mystery Inquisitor that is that from the little glance that we got. I think it was the Inquisitor from the Ahsoka part of Tales of the Jedi, the one that she killed in that.
Okay.
Um, like I said, it just from the look that I saw, that's what it looks like. Could be completely wrong. We'll find out.
I mean, realistically,
Um,
regardless, it's somebody who is of the dark side. She's got the
yep.
yellow or
Yeah, it
orange.
seems yellow. No, it
Anyway,
was yellow. That
and then
was yellow.
she's protecting what I would assume is a Padawan or younglings, whatever they're called. I don't know what they're
Yeah,
called.
yeah, youngling. Yeah, no, there's youngling, Padawan, still same thing. Apprentice. I don't know. It's some kind of new Force user of the light
Yes,
side.
yes,
And
for sure.
then the other side we have a history with Cad Bane. Cad Bane is returning. We don't know the time period this takes place, if this is before or after Book of Boba Fett. So, but either way, we're getting more backstory on him, and this is an old where he's encountering an old acquaintance apparently. What?
No, I just like how you go the timeline. We don't know if it's before or after Boba Fett, and then you go, and then we get a lot about his past. It's like if it's after Boba Fett, it's not his past.
Well, no, I mean what I mean is like this is a
They're gonna
we're
go back and
encountering
forth in time.
someone.
I know.
No, I wasn't even saying that. I'm saying we're encountering someone from his past,
Oh, that's
and then
true.
we're going to be
That's true.
learning about his backstory. It doesn't necessarily mean we're going back in time,
All right. I forgive you.
but
I forgive you for misspeaking.
I didn't misspeak. You just heard what you wanted to hear.
No, actually, I think I'm legitimately having the tables turned on me where I'm now hearing what you've heard from me a lot. So it's like I think some of you is getting actually cut out, which is hilarious. But anyway,
Oh. Well,
yeah.
good luck.
So it's like one of those things where no, no. So that's what I mean. So it's like you might have said that, but it did not come through here.
Okay, so we're in for a good time.
Oh, thank God this is a short one. So we're gonna move right on to the next thing, which was the announcement of Spider-Man 4, which is a brand new day. No,
Yeah, brand new day. Yep.
okay. That's coming out 2026,
Uh,
right before, or right after Doomsday.
July 31st. I don't know when Doomsday is. I don't know. Not. I do not know when Doomsday is supposed
Wait,
to
what
release.
year?
That I
What
do
year?
not know.
2026.
I don't. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's a month after Doomsday. No, 2 months after.
Oh, Doomsday is scheduled for May.
As of right now, it is, unless my information was
Okay.
wrong the last time I saw it. Um, which
I
spoiler
did not.
alert,
I did not
because
remember.
Spider-Man
So
lives that.
we could have like a thing where it's like, oh, this is actually coming, taking place in the in the past. You know, kind of like Black Widow.
Well, the difference would be it's not going to be like 14 movies beforehand, like 14
Yeah.
movies after.
So
So anyway, so yeah, that was actually all of them, right? Am I missing something?
nope. There was one
Oh,
more announcement.
oh, that's right,
One.
that's right. So Beyond, no, yeah, Beyond the Spider-Verse, Spider-Man
Yep.
Beyond the Spider-Verse is scheduled to be 2028 or 2027.
27.
27. Thank you. I hope that this is the final.
I do
Especially
hope. I mean, I'm looking forward to this movie. So I mean, you know, if it
to be
gets
fair,
delayed
like they
again, you know,
both were good. Like both were good. My only complaint about the second one was the way it ended. Obviously, like we need to like have the third one, and just because we haven't gotten the third one, it's just been kind of like a tease. Um,
yeah. When it was supposed to release literally the next
no,
year,
no,
and then
it
it's
was
been
so
delayed so far.
to be fair, like they was supposed to be the next year. You're right, and so like I get it. So I'm not blaming them for it because their plan
Yeah.
was to do it like not really back to back, but like pretty close.
Yeah. Actually, something else, if you want to talk about, like really fast, we found out we got a quote from Vincent D'Onofrio that
Oh yes,
he is not allowed to be in Spider-Man because of some contracting issues that they have
no,
with this whole Spider-Man thing.
no, no. That's not what he said. He said he can't be in any of the movies because of a contract issue.
Yes, he's only allowed for television stuff, but that it cannot work with the Spider-Man contract because Spider-Man cannot be in live-action TV for the MCU.
I know, and Kingpin's a weird one because he's Daredevil, but he's also Spider-Man, and so he's one of
Yeah.
those characters where it's like I think like there is a few characters that are literally in both contracts.
Hmm.
Quicksilver is one of well was one of them. Quicksilver and Scarlet Witch were one of them. Um,
Yep.
and then it was so Kingpin was another, but there is another one, and it's gonna bother me now. There's another one, and it's gonna
I
bother the hell out of me, and I can't think of it now. Oh, I think it's Hulk. Hulk used to. I think once they Hulk was another weird one.
well, Hulk was with Universal, not Sony.
No, I know, but he was his own separate contract at one point.
Well, yes. Okay. I didn't.
No,
I
but
thought
that's
you
what I mean.
meant
So
from the
like,
Sony universe.
so like because of that, it was a weird thing because you for there was an issue too, but at the same I'll say it this way, there was two things. One, it was a contract issue, but at the same time, they also didn't want to use any of the Hulk villains either. But like, I think they also weren't allowed to at the very beginning. Again, I'm talking about like when Avengers started, they couldn't use any Hulk villains, and it wasn't until like I want to say it was what the Phase 3 when we got General Ross back for Civil War.
That would
Was
okay.
that
I guess that would
no?
make sense.
So there was like a huge
No, that
like
wasn't. Was that?
no, I think it was the end of Phase 2 because 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 Infinity War they were still split up. So it had to have been technically Phase 2. No, that was Phase
Ah,
3
this
because no, because
this is
Phase
so.
no, Phase 3 was the yeah. So Phase 3 starts after Age of Ultron. So yes, it was Phase 3. It just was before the third
That's
movie.
true.
That's what throws me off because technically
Yeah,
the fourth Avengers movie is not Phase 4.
yeah,
It's
yep.
such a
That
it
is
messes me
yep.
up because it was perfect until we had the double movie, the part two technically, and then all
Yeah,
the Avengers movies screw me up on which phase we're in. But anyway, that being said, we are there was just a lot of contract stuff with that. I remember that being an issue, but it was not nearly as bad as the Sony and Spider-Man one.
yeah. I mean, Hulk was allowed to be used. He just wasn't allowed to be a main character.
Yeah, it was a weird it was
So
a weird like thing and like obviously that changed because somehow I don't I they must have acquired.
that's when he started building him from Ultron to Ragnarok to Infinity and Endgame. Like that's where all the character changing started coming
Yeah,
along
and we
because
started to get all the old characters back slowly.
kind of, I guess.
Well,
I
we had
mean,
Thaddeus Ross, and then we got Abomination, and then with the recent movie, we got everyone else.
yeah, I mean, Abomination came in from he was like
Actually, he was Shang Chi.
she was in Shang Chi.
Yeah, that's where we
Oh,
first
I
saw
mean,
him. That's where we first saw him.
oh yeah, the Fight Club. That's right. Oh yeah, I
And
forgot
it
about
was
that actually.
explained in She-Hulk what
In
happened.
She Hulk.
Yeah.
That's right. Yep. Oh, I completely forgot about that. Wow.
So anyway,
Uh,
but
that's
yeah,
hilarious.
I know. I'm glad I remember that stuff. But anyway, let's get right into Daredevil then, because I think we could talk about the contract for hours. But I will say this: at least the trailers look good so far. I mean, obviously, I mean Peacemaker 2 we've been excited for a bit because we weren't even sure we were getting it.
Wait, hold up. Hold up. I completely forgot. I don't know if you saw this. We got a new trailer for Superman.
Was it a real one? Was it where Crypto starts
It
bouncing on him?
yeah, it was a sneak peek. So it was crypto we see Superman crash land, he's beat up, he calls Crypto, Crypto comes, and because he's happy to see his owner, he tries to play with him and gets beat up. And because he's a super dog, Superman is actually getting hurt. And then he gets taken home. The Calyx, his robot assistants, take
Yeah,
him in.
they strap him in and then
They
they
strap him in.
isn't
They
it like
enhance the sun.
285 times? Didn't that
It
is
was yeah, something
it was
something
a very
high
it was a
ridiculous.
very specific number that means nothing
Yeah.
to me, but yet somehow I have it in my head.
Yep.
And then the ray he
And
literally just starts glowing.
yep, and he's literally getting basically fast healed. So I thought
Yes.
that was really cool seeing a vulnerable side of Superman and seeing what hit like just his abilities. I love seeing a little bit more of Crypto. I love seeing the Fortress of Solitude coming up out of the ground. Thought that was awesome. I loved the his Kalex robots assistants, like all of them like gushing over Superman, acknowledging her, and it's like, oh, we don't have any emotions. It doesn't matter to us that you appreciate us. And then it's like, oh my god, he said hi to me. Thought it was funny. Um, I saw so much hate for this sneak peek because of Crypto beating up Superman.
Well, to me it wasn't he technically all right, I'll say it this way. For me, like I wasn't a big I will say this, I wasn't a big fan of it, but my reasoning was because you could have showed a lot better scenes action
It
wise. It just
wasn't
just a
really
me
meant.
that's a,
Yeah, it
no, no,
was.
that's just a me thing. That's just a me thing. But
Yeah.
it made sense to me. Like I didn't see
Yeah.
anything. Like there was nothing that made me go, "This is like." I will say this: there was nothing that I thought to myself, "This isn't believable." It was more the fact of like I wouldn't have shown this as like part of it.
what Gunn is trying to do right now is just showing what's going, like what is possible to be shown in this universe, like showing how crypto, like we're seeing that crypto is actually functional in this format. Like one of our big fears was a CGI dog flying around moving at super speed. That might not look great. He just showed us a scene that showed the dog running super speed, jumping around. He looked pretty good. He didn't look bad.
No, no, he
And then
actually
we
his
saw,
CGI still like granted he
yeah,
has to have some CGI obviously, I get it, but like it's not been bad, which is in fact
yeah, no, exactly.
he looked more like
So
a
like,
real dog in this trailer than he did in the last one. And he didn't look bad in the first
yeah.
one either.
So like what, like he's showing, like scene, like showing like this is what we're capable of. Like this is a taste of what's to come without giving any major plot point towards this movie. And it's getting us more hooked in because it's like Superman has 14 broken ribs, punctured lung, punctured spleen. What happened to Superman that he's that beat up? Who can beat up Superman like that? So it's like it's giving us a taste while also like what happened. So I thought it was a great trailer. When I first heard about it, because I saw posts about it before he released it on from people posting it on Twitter from Cinecon. When I heard about it, I was like, "Oh, this is really stupid." And then I saw it and I actually laughed and I liked it.
Mm.
But I'm more of a DC geek than you are, so
I mean, yes. I mean, all right. Obviously, I have my preference, but like, I don't hate DC.
no, I'm not saying you do. I'm not
No,
saying
but I
you
get
hate
your
it.
point.
I'm
Like,
I'm
I
I think
definitely
I
don't
think
know any
for
of
ex-
those
I
like
think for example, like I'm more critical of Marvel, whereas you're more critical of DC. So yeah, like we're about to find out come this next episode. So segue into Daredevil and let's hear your thoughts.
I will admit that I was slightly disappointed in this episode.
I'm surprised that you said that. I agree.
But my reasoning, my so I'll say this: there was a lot of good. There was a lot of good. There was a lot of character building. There was a lot of like great scenes overall. I don't like the conclusion of it. I don't like. I really didn't. Now this, my issue with this episode was similar to what you had a problem with a lot of the videos, like the movies, where they killed another villain.
Okay, so yeah, they killed off Muse.
Again,
I
we
thought you
don't.
were talking about
No, I was just
he could possibly come back,
no. That's what I mean. But I mean,
or
like
whatever.
realistically, the thought is though he's dead, and I'm like that kind of messes me with a little bit.
I thought you were talking about them like the ending with Vanessa and Kingpin. That's what I thought you were talking
Oh no
about,
no
and I
no!
was
I
actually
actually like.
I was actually like I'm surprised that you didn't like that.
No. I'm sorry. I thought that was actually like one of the best scenes. I was more
Yeah,
talking
that
about
was like the saving grace of this episode for me.
um
um,
no, I liked it
but
overall.
yeah, go through it. Give me what your overall thoughts are, and then I'll give you my overall
So I
thoughts.
like
I
so
guess in this
this
case.
was definitely more of this is what makes Daredevil more of the Batman of the Marvel universe in the sense of we got to see his detective skills and everything else. We got to see his deduction, his reasoning and everything else. We got to see him infiltrating a crime scene, an active crime scene, which has been very different than what we've seen in the past. Huge difference. Um, we've also see him come to the conclusion of what's going on as well. Um, Also, I love the fact that we've technically seen Muse for a while without a mask, and we had no idea. That was a nice
Yeah.
reveal. I also love the fact that the detectives giving Mayor Fisk all the information and him being like, "Thank you, I'll take care of it." And I do like his task force. Is it the police vigilante task force, or
I
is it?
thought that he just called it the Vigilante Task Force. I didn't.
No, there's another letter. There's another letter in the beginning. There's another letter in the beginning. I believe it's the policeman's vigilante task force, because he wants it to be like he wants his name away from it so that people will respect the police officers, even though he's in charge of it, which is another Fisk move. I love the scene of I love the dichotomy of them of the female detective talking to Fisk about about Muse, and then we have Muse talking about Taekwondo and everything else, and then all that stuff kind of going on, and realizing like, granted, I when did you notice that Muse was the guy?
I mean, I didn't realize it until like he was basically right in the therapy session. Like when he was in therapy with her and like they started talking, I was like, he's giving me this really creepy vibe. And that's when it was like, okay, this is Muse. And then they confirmed it. And obviously they were like really hinting at it by giving all these like multiple perspectives of like, because it was still kind of hidden until they were sitting in therapy, and it's like, who is this guy that's with her? And that's when Daredevil is, like you said, going through it and like the deduction of all the paintings and investigating
Her.
while yeah.
Also, can we
So
just talk about for a minute, because this is always what killed me. So I am not mad about it because it makes sense. But us seeing the photos and him not being able to know who it is, and we know who it is, just because it
yeah.
wasn't 3D, I get it, because he can only see three dimensionals. He cannot see drawings. So I get it.
Hmm.
It just irritated me to no end, because in my mind, I'm literally going, it's her. Like, why are you? And
Yeah.
the other thing that bothered me too was, you're feeling it. It's a painting. How are you feeling it? And then I noticed,
Yeah.
obviously some of them were actually like three dimensional, like, because it was like a pastel, so it was more of like a thick paint.
Yeah, you could feel it. You can feel the texture.
Yeah. Um. But yeah. So no, no. So I like that. So you held up your finger. Why?
I looked up Kingpin's task force. It's called the Anti-Vigilante Task Force.
So
That's
there
it.
was there was another letter. I just was the wrong one.
Yes.
Okay. Fair enough.
So I apologize. Wanted to point that out before we both forgot. So continue.
Okay. So we had that going on. Like I said, we had the talks with the detectives, with Fisk. Then they all figure out who Muse is and who he's seeing as a psychiatrist, psychologist, psychiatrist. Doesn't matter. At least not at
Therapist.
this moment. There is a difference, but for this moment in time, it does not matter. So anyway, we then first off, we then get her to try to run away, which was awesome. Then he knocks her out, and then she wakes up, and he somehow has his full costume on. Um,
Yeah.
I'm like, so that would realistically, that didn't bother me that much at all. It just makes me laugh. Again with the beanie though, the beanie threw me off. I don't know if you saw it more in this episode, but it's the movement
Oh, I
that
noticed it.
messes with me. Still great fight scenes. Do not get me wrong. It's still a great fight. I'm just like, oh, and the painting that Daredevil made, ah, so good.
Yeah.
When
Right.
the grappling hook goes through the guy's shoulder and just pulls him down. And then the psychiatrist shoots Muse several times, and then she starts to bleed out.
Hmm.
Daredevil then has to run away because he can't get caught by the task force. Then the task force is ordered to state that only they were there and they stopped Muse and they took Muse out, because they cannot have Daredevil taking all the credit. That's pretty much it though. Oh, so sorry.
Okay.
There was another piece that we didn't mention. It was between Vanessa, Fisk, and Luca. Is that his name, Luca?
Luke. Luca. Yeah. Luca.
So anyway, Luca goes to Vanessa requesting, basically help or approval of taking down Fisk, and she is ambiguous enough to not say yes or no. I'll say it
Hmm.
that way. Um,
Yep.
and then she calls him up. Oh no, she texts him. Sorry, she texts him. He's all alone at this restaurant. Go get him. Go get him, kid. Um, and he goes in there all, and then shot in the head immediately.
Hmm.
Beautiful time. And then Fisk has the nerve to be like, "All right, we need to clean that up." And then, could you please call my wife to see if she wants any takeout to be brought home? And so, obviously, when the guy gets shot, like, I know that Fisk knew what was happening. But to just be blatantly being like, "Could you just call my wife to see if she just wants takeout?" And I'm like, that just makes it worse for me, just because it's like, oh. And again, Vanessa's loyal to a T. It's just, oh, so good.
So my thoughts on this episode. I like you said at the kind of the beginning, I was I was disappointed in this episode. I very much it's like a weird double-edged sword because I really enjoyed it. I had fun watching it, but as soon as it was over, I was like I was really let down with this episode because I like you said, I loved the detective work. I loved the suspense of being worried about Daredevil's girlfriend being, the therapist. Like, is she actually going to make it out? Are they going to kill her? I loved the fight scene with Muse, and I especially loved the ending with Vanessa and Kingpin. Just the mystery behind that. Um, but like going back, it's like after this episode, the reality that this is only 9 episodes instead of 13 kind of sank in for me because I know I had mentioned to you before about how the writer of the show is like, oh, this we're taking out a lot of the fluff for this show compared to the original. And I think that now seeing that in action kind of hurt the season overall because now things that should be used to build up these characters have been taken away. Like for example, like with the therapist and Daredevil. I can't remember her name, but it's like they're going through it and they're seeing each other regularly and all of
But
a sudden they're
we
in
don't
the
really see their relationship. That's the big issue.
we don't see the relationship and they're all of a sudden out of nowhere at basically to us at the I love you stage.
Mhm.
It's like how long have they been together that they're already at that point? It's like
I
and
mean,
then we're supposed to
Netflix let us see the sex scenes. I'm just saying, Disney, let us see the sex scenes.
yeah, that's the important part.
I mean, honestly,
But
I think it's like Game of Thrones. Like, there's context.
yeah, no, absolutely. But no, like even still, it's like this person who we've only seen a handful of times now is in a life or death situation with Muse. It's like, like again, it was suspenseful, like, oh, is she gonna make it out? But at the same time, after that was over, it's like if she died, like who cares? Because like I don't really know her. Like
It would have been a
unlike
completely different. It would have been a completely different scenario if that was Karen.
oh yeah, absolutely. Like we know Karen. They gave us time to build a relationship with her. Even with the who's the other one? Claire. Even with Claire. Like she was like a very big supporting character and not like a side character, not even support, but like a and we still cared about her. Um so it's like these characters this th- like that's like one of those big things and especially with Muse killing Muse off like this is this as you just said recycling through villains and all that other stuff because it's like we had a chance to have like build on something and it's like oh well it's already over
Well,
it
this is
like that
so like
was
I was surprisingly fine with them killing White Tiger. In the sense
it
of
built
because I
towards the
felt like
story.
because I felt like it was going to build towards something bigger, and like it was supposed to be
Yeah.
like this action packed like big story build, and so like the next one was obviously going to be Muse, and then I felt like they did Muse the same way they did White Tiger, where the moment we finally get excited about him, they get rid of him.
Yep. Yeah, no, exactly. It's like they're using these characters as a jumping off point when they could be using them as their own story. And the fact that Muse has only been like in the comics for a short time, it got the fans excited because it's like, oh, we're going to be getting more of this person. Like and something else, like I've been seeing a lot of people talking about how like just for Muse and the therapist, like we could have seen before that scene of that therapy session, we could have been seeing more of them, like him following her around, not just this episode where he goes for a book signing of her, and then all of a sudden he's in a therapy session with her and he wants to kill her.
Yeah,
Like we could have had,
I think they should have. You're absolutely right, and I don't think I think we would have had hints that that was Muse, but I don't think we would have actually thought it was because I would have.
yeah, I mean, and that's perfectly fine,
No, no, no.
but
I'm
at
fine
least
with
we
it
would have
too.
gotten more.
But it would have built up more instead of it being what looks like the second session she's had with him, even though we know it's not clearly.
Hmm.
But like it feels like it's only the second time, and it's like all this information is here. All of a sudden, he's like loving her, and it's like in the only way he knows how, which is murder, because life.
Yeah, he loves someone to death.
Well, no,
he wants him.
he
He wants them
no, that's not true.
immortalized.
No, no, no. He wants her to bleed for him. Bleed for him.
that too.
Let me use your innards for my art. Um, I don't know. I'm hoping he's not actually dead.
That's kind of what I'm hoping, or there's some way that they bring him back in the next season. But it's like that. That I felt like this was a cheap thing that they did.
I agree. No, here's the thing.
Like,
I agree. Because, like, my whole thing is, like, I would believe that the task force would lie and say he was dead.
absolutely,
Like, I'm
yeah.
not questioning that whatsoever, but it's just because they weren't the one, you know what I'm saying? Like, because she killed him, technically.
Hmm.
So I'm like,
Yep.
maybe she didn't do a good job. I know it sounds stupid to say, but like, I don't know. That's just, I fear that just based on this episode, the assumption is he's done. He's done. And so like
Hmm.
because of that, it's like you built up this character that wasn't really a big character in the comics anyway, to make him seem like he's going to be the main villain of this season. Correct me
Or
if
at least one of.
one of right, like he was going to be the one that kind of got Kingpin and Daredevil back to who they were, you know what I'm saying? That's
Yep.
more of what I
Which,
considered him, to make him the main villain, because there needed to be somebody to make Kingpin back to Kingpin. And so
yep.
like,
And at the end of the day, that is what happened. But it just felt
but it didn't either, it
it
didn't
felt
feel like it was.
incomplete.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, and then I mean, just in general too. I mean, like it would be cool to build up on a little bit more between Daredevil and I think her name is Catherine.
Just say
Matt
the
Murdock and
doctor.
Catherine could say that too.
Doesn't that make that
Either way,
easier?
like she has a very she's very different thought process of the vigilante scene than Matt does, obviously, because she is very much. She said it
Yo.
while Muse was attacking her, saying, "You're a coward for hiding behind a mask." So that itself could be similar to Karen, how it's building up that relationship of like they're together, they care about each other, but they have very polar opposite thought processes. And it's this season is just like throwing those things at us, expecting us to really pick it up being able to instead of just being able to tell the story itself.
Mhm.
um like I said, this episode was really the real clincher of like this season isn't going to be long enough. Like it was
It's weird for us to say we wanted the fluff, because I think, like you said, and I agree with you, it wasn't as much, like, although it might have been fluff compared to the rest of the season, it was information that was gathered in
it
connections
was
to those
much needed.
characters. It was connections to those characters that brought us to like them more or hate them more, depending on who they were. Um,
Yep.
and we don't have this as much. Like, we're seeing a lot of that detective that I honestly don't care about. Meaning, like,
Mm,
I have no feelings over. Meaning, like,
yeah.
she's the Asian detective who's like kind of working for Fisk, but like also doesn't like him, but does like him. And it's like, do we
Yeah,
really know
and I
what's
mean,
going on?
even the former cop that's working with Matt in
We don't have
the
a big enough connection with them, other than, like, I will say that we have a better connection with him than we do the others. But like, it's
yeah.
still not like we did with Foggy and almost said Peg, Karen.
Yeah,
I
no,
wanted to say
it's
Paige, and
like,
it didn't come out. But yeah. All
but
right.
yeah, no, it definitely feels a little bit short in that sense. But I mean, I have to say, the very ending with Kingpin and Vanessa, that whole dynamic of what actually happened, because obviously I'm sitting here saying Vanessa are obviously knew Kingpin, that like they were working together in that sense. She sent Luca over to get assassinated because she was in on it. But at the same time, is that true? Did she really work with Kingpin
You know what? That's
set
fair.
him up?
But I don't
Yeah,
know.
it's like
The smile on her face made me think otherwise.
I personally think that they were working together, and it's finally coming that Kingpin realizes, as we saw, Kingpin can't do this the clean way that like he was hoping. He needs both businesses to work together, and he's finally letting Vanessa do what she wants as long as they're on the same page.
Mm.
And But at the same time, does Vanessa feel the same way, and does Vanessa really want to share the power uh with Fisk now that she got it?
Correct.
You
We're
know,
gonna have to wait on
she
that one.
has absolutely. But I love that cliffhanger because it's like we don't know which side she's on.
Hmm.
Um and like that was the best part of the episode because this is a relationship, like this relationship is actually being built the entire season, and like how we're feeling with these two is how we should be feeling with every other character, and unfortunately we're not.
I agree.
um
100% agree.
but I mean, like I said at the very start, I had fun with this episode. It's just the ending made me realize that this unfortunately isn't going to be as fulfilling as we were hoping after the Defender saga. It's definitely something different, and it feels like this is kind of just like a setup season for next season.
I
I
mean, it's
kind of
still
want to
early.
compare it.
I feel like
We have two
still
more episodes.
it's still early to say that, but I get your point. Because there's only 2 episodes left, you feel like it is
Yeah,
going to be that way, and it very well could be, which would be very disappointing. But we'll have to wait and see for sure.
I have to say, but after I say this, and you can give your thoughts on it if you want, but then we can move on to your character spotlight. But I feel like this in comparing this to like Star Wars, where this season is going to be like what Episode 7 was for fans, in terms of they're showing that they know how to do Daredevil, in terms of like giving us like a quick rehash of what the old ways were, and then this allowing them to set up what they want to do for the next however many seasons they do, because they've already got season 2 confirmed. We know that. So like this is Daredevil season 1 is like, okay, this is, we know how to work Daredevil. We haven't forgotten. Here it is. And then season 2 is going to be more of like the other story that they want to build, kind of like how episode 7 was literally just episode 4 modernized.
Yeah.
So that's kind of how I'm seeing this season going right now. And if that ends up being the case, I'm going to be, it's going to be more of a letdown. I'm still having fun with it, but it's sad to realize that it's coming up short.
Well, yeah, you're feeling it's coming up short because there's only 2 episodes left, and you're assuming, and again, rightly so, that those 2 episodes are not going to be enough to tell the rest of the story or a complete story. I'll say it
Hmm.
that way. All right, so let's move on to my
But
character spotlight.
yeah, but we'll have to see.
All right,
Yep.
so my
Let's
character
see what
is
you
a
got.
character. Can I speak?
I stopped. This is the delay part because I said something like a while ago, and
Oh,
you just
right.
heard it. So,
No, that's true. That is true. That is my issue. Anyway, so I wanted to do the task force. However, I was unable to get information about the task force as a whole. So I decided to talk about none other than Cole North. Now, you'll understand who that is in a moment because he is one of the members of the anti vigilante task force. So once I hear his story, you should know exactly which one it is right away. So this character also, before I continue, was actually created in 2019.
brand new.
Very new. So Cole North was born and raised in Chicago, Illinois, where he joined the Chicago Police Department. Cole had an impressive arrest record and was dedicated to stopping crime, even taking a stand against corrupt officers. While chasing the drug dealer, North mistakenly shot a 16-year-old boy believing he was reaching for a weapon when it was just a phone. Following this, he was placed on administrative leave and it was assigned therapy. He, leaving behind his wife Anna, North transferred to New York City, joining the NYPD. He requested a non corrupt partner, leading to his assignment with Fred Higgins, a clean but unremarkable officer. North quickly made his presence known when um, when he caught detectives Tina Deacon and Edward Taylor lying about witness statements in the murder of Pistol Pat Albino, where a man claimed he had seen Daredevil commit the crime. Investigating another murder, North confronted Daredevil, ultimately shooting him when the hero resisted arrest. North pursued him relentlessly, eventually arresting him despite knowing many officers remained loyal to Daredevil. However, Punisher intervened, knocking North out and aiding Daredevil's escape. This earned North backlash from his colleagues and even Mayor Wilson Fisk, um, commending his even yeah
Commending or condemning?
commending, which is what threw me off because it makes it sound like and anyway. So this earned backlash from his colleagues, but Mayor Fisk commended his actions, though North did not like Fisk. Over the next 2 months, while Daredevil withdrew from crime fighting, North focused on on cases, but was despised by following officers. His superior, Captain Curvatus, I'm definitely not saying that right, assigned him to pursue Spider-Man. Eventually, North was ambushed and beaten by corrupt cops, but was unexpectedly saved by Luca Marone, a henchman of the Owl, who thanked him for driving Daredevil away. Despite injuries, he continued working even as a corrupt cops attacked Higgins, ultimately leading to his partner's death. Seeking justice, North engaged in a brutal fight with corrupt officers before Daredevil. In a in a white mask, sorry, North engaged in a brutal fight with corrupt officers before Daredevil in a white mask intervened and stopped him from killing anyone. So he was wearing a white mask, meaning North.
Mm.
Following a talk with Spider Man, North began questioning his place within the system. Daredevil later confronted North directly, leading to a conversation about justice and responsibility. Despite orders to stay out of Hell's Kitchen, North defied those commands to aid Daredevil in rescuing Bella Labrise from the Owl's men as a full scale battle broke out in Hell's Kitchen involving Crossbones, Bullseye, Bullet, and Rhino. North fought alongside Daredevil, even managing to land a hit on Bullet. After Daredevil turned himself in for past crimes, North ensured Owl's arrest and later accompanied Daredevil through his legal processing. When Daredevil was stabbed in prison, North visited him and assisted FBI agent Casbia in exposing the crimes of David Denvers, the corrupt prison owner. Later, North was drawn into a police riot where he uncovered the Warrens' use of the Resig drug to heighten inmates' aggression. Under its influence, Daredevil fought North, who was also exposed to the drug. Eventually, Daredevil invited North to join his new version of the Fist, leading to North's resignation from the police force, training with the Fist. North discovered he had gained enhanced abilities. However, as the war against the Hand escalated, North grew disillusioned with Daredevil's obsessive pursuit of justice, and as the Fist fell apart, he narrowly escaped the destruction of their headquarters with the help of Bullet and Stegron. Really, Stegron? Stegron is a never mind. He's a he's a weird character. He's basically what you would expect a Stegosaurus to look like.
Oh, so Rhino, but Dino form.
Tail instead of horn, but yes.
Okay.
That actually is accurate. Returning to New York, North urged Daredevil to continue fighting. He later joined Foggy Nelson in opening a legal firm, Nelson North, where he worked as chief investigator. Where Daredevil now presumed dead, both men felt they saw him in the corner of their eyes. So, some abilities is he's skilled in hand-to-hand combat. He is trained boxer and has held his own against a fist fight with Daredevil. He's also a trained marksman with firearms thanks to his police academy training. And that, my friends, is everything we know about Cole North of Earth 616. Do you know who Cole North is?
Wasn't he the African American that
The
was
only other cop
was recruited?
that's been talked to by Fisk, yes.
Yeah, the one who got discharged because he did some
Yeah,
mistake.
in Chicago, which which was the dead
Yeah.
giveaway, Mike. No, it's okay.
Yeah.
I only gave you
No,
one.
as
I
soon as you
literally
said Chicago, I was like, okay.
no, I spoon fed it to you, but that's okay.
Hey, the comic version and this version is slightly different. So,
That's true. He didn't have a wife in this one that we know of, or a child. So anyway, next week it's going to be another episode of Daredevil. Any trailers that come out,
mhm.
and Mike's character spotlight.
Yep.
Okay. Well, that is going to be it for tonight. It looks like we've done a decent job this time around of keeping it pretty close to an hour. Um, just
Yeah.
because of how short.
45 minutes. This is the shortest one in the longest time.
Yeah. And I'm thinking I'm okay with it doing it next week too because it's been calming. Not that I don't like doing it. It's
Yeah.
just the less information like we force ourselves to do, the kind of the better it is.
Oh yeah, no. I mean, you just said you had a lot going on this week, so if you had something else to worry about, like forget
Oh,
about
honestly,
it.
like if I'll say it this way: if I didn't get it done during the week, the weekend, I would have gotten nothing done. Meaning, like I wouldn't have watched any of it. But yeah. So
Yeah.
overall, I mean, it's. I mean, this one was. I mean, like I said, it was a little bit of a disappointment because of what we were expecting this to be, but it
Hmm.
still wasn't bad.
Yeah.
It still wasn't bad.
Like I
Um,
like I said, like it was fun. It was just it's more disappointing realizing what's going on. So, and
no, I agree.
like I said, this show is still fun, and I'm still enjoying watching it.
I agree. I 100% agree. So for now, um, make sure if you made it this far into the video to like and subscribe because well, we need this.
Scott needs the help. He really needs this.
So it was Mike earlier. Honestly,
He's been really defeated.
honestly, it's gonna be Mike in a couple of months. It really will be. But for right now, it's me. Okay. In a couple of months, it's
Oh
gonna be
yeah.
Mike.
Oh yeah.
No, no, it's Mike's like he's absolutely correct.
Oh yeah. He right. He really right.
So for right now, it's me. And then it'll be Mike. And then by then, I'm hoping I'll be calmer, or at least better. But for now,
Listen,
um,
we go up and down.
I think it's a good cycle. It's a good cycle. It's a back and forth. I think it fits. It fits. So for now, like I said, make sure to like and subscribe down below. Other than that, this is going to be Scott and Mike signing out of the Black Eel Podcast. Have a wonderful night. Bye bye.
Yeah, that was a nice length. We could
No,
actually like
it felt good. Like I also like we got to expand a little bit, but also like
yeah.
not take 2 hours. I know that I'm not trying to state like a bad thing about it. I'm just saying like just because we